and get my notes.
All right, great. And Rick, do you think you could help with the notes today?
Sure. I don't have his template that he uses, but you know, I can write everything down. I mean, he's got that that PowerPoint that he manages.
And I'm back. All right. I can add the notes in the chat. Let's see. Okay.
Let's see, what have we got here? This is workflowy com.
That's it.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that I just edit these right here.
Yep.
I've not played with this, so bear with me.
Okay, no problem. I'm gonna open them up and share the screen also. So,
so can I just start changing like dates and stuff on here?
yep. So I'm gonna add in June 24th.
Oops, you did that. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I think we're both.
Okay. Yeah, this is June 17th. So that was from the last week. But yeah, if you want to add in the attendance for today, it's just the two of us.
Okay.
It'll be a pretty quick meeting, but I think we can run through a couple things. So maybe to start off, we can look at the metrics for the week. This is a different view. This is one of the toolkits that MASB helped to put together. So it does give us some of the same information. So zoom into the bottom, we had 9 new members this week. So a total of 2,650 members in the hub. So welcome to our new members from the US, the UK, Algeria, and Brazil. For anybody interested in keeping up with this, if you go to the hub and put in the new member space, you'll see that twice a week we have a post from the e-NABLE bot that shares all the new members and their nationalities. So these are our new members for the week. Going back to the metrics, we had the most popular posts were related to events and the hub and the community. So we can go through maybe a couple of those pretty quickly. Rick, you had shared a post about your new device. So actually, maybe that's a good place to start out. Looks like it is really coming along with the design that you're working on. So I know you shared this before we started the recording, but if you want to give us a quick sneak peek of this new device for your dog, that'd be great.
Absolutely. Oh, let me see how I can do this. Yes, I'm gonna try to put the photos in here. Maybe I wonder if I can just put a link to the. Is there a way for me just to put a link to the hub?
I'm scrolling through it right now. So if you want to just share it in person.
Yeah, I don't have it on this machine here.
The actual device. I've got the screen share up, so we can see all the photos that you shared. But if you turn your video on,
is my video not on?
Nope. Okay, there we go.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Yes. New updates available. Okay. Yes, this is just what we're trying to build for Puppy Faith. Puppy Faith is a baby Rottweiler and has a damaged front left paw. And unfortunately, this type of an injury causes the surgeons to remove the entire leg up to the shoulder. So what we're trying to do is avoid that and build a modular socket that will allow baby Faith to keep her leg intact and still be able to walk and not damage or hurt the bone structure or the platelets any more than they already are. So we're done for the most part. The only thing we've got left is testing. But because of we've got their office is actually, they have COVID in their office. And of course I have COVID. So we have to postpone the fitting until everybody's feeling a little better. But I'm not sure how to do it, but I could probably put a link to this, what Ben has brought up on the hub. I could probably put it in the notes, I think. I don't know. I've never tried that.
Yeah, I can do that. I can put a link
can you do
right
that?
to this post. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, that way it won't be so redundant and everything. We'll have a little continuity between the two. But I think it's going to mean an awful lot to a lot of animals not to have that invasive a surgery just for a bad paw. I had no idea that this was a thing. We believe we can build this for under $20 once we have everything retooled and done. And it doesn't even require any 3D printing, which is nice because we can turn it around in a day, maybe 1 to 3 days, we're thinking, depending upon the size of the animal.
That's great.
It would almost require, though, somebody investing in a thermoform machine, which this is a homemade one, and there's photos of it here in what you're posting, the homemade thermoform machine. It's just, as you know, Ben, it takes a very long time to 3D print things like this, where with a thermoform, it's in seconds. You just flash it and you're there. And you can buy sheets of this material called Krydex, and I don't even know if I know how to spell it. I think it was about $15 for 5 sheets.
Wow, that's great.
Super inexpensive. And most of the people out there who have built, any of the arms that are on e-NABLE already know how to thermoform anyway. So, most of the guys out there are pretty good at this.
And it looks like the thermoforming setup that you have, I mean, it looks like you set up sort of a whole DIY kit, which is really cool. So tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's pegboard and some old, it's 1/2-inch pieces of wood, and that's aluminum framing, Ace Hardware, and bulldog clips. And the way that works is it's hard to tell from the view you have up, but there's 2 aluminum frames that you're looking at, and you just put the Krydex sheet, 12 by 12 Krydex sheet in those aluminum forms. You put the bulldog clips on. In our case, we just put it in the oven, which my wife forgave me finally for the smell, but it wasn't that bad. You heat it up to around 400 degrees. It becomes extremely pliable, and you hook your shop vac to this thing, and you lay the model in there, and it just instantly creates a thermoform. I mean, it's just seconds. And this stuff is so strong, it's almost hard to drill through.
Now, is this for, I mean, obviously it wouldn't be putting a 400-degree piece of plastic on, the patient itself or the dog. This is to get the fitting to be the exact anatomy of the device user, correct?
Yes, sir. You're absolutely correct. And it basically, we had already made alginates, and we had already made plaster casts that we've then thermoformed. The alginate is a miraculous thing because dentists use it, so it's very safe, to use on children and pets and whatever, because it's very benign. And of course, plaster's been around forever. It doesn't really take long. I think we did our plaster casting. We used LiDAR for the 3D scans. In addition to this, so we could get the measurements. The LiDAR has worked out for us much better than standard 3D scanning. LiDAR is absolutely amazing and super cheap. And I would really put it up against some of the best scanners that we have here in the lab. It's been awesome. We did almost this entire thing with LiDAR.
No, I don't know.
I think there's a movie right under there. I think you can see what the LiDAR did. Right under where it says 5279.
I see that. No, it's not going to show up on the screen share.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's the LiDAR scan, just so you can see it.
That's great. Yeah, and for members that are interested in learning more about this process, maybe this is a good time as any to take us over to the calendar. For July, the focus follow-up meeting on the 22nd is going to be a further discussion with Rick talking about animal prosthetics and DIY materials and tools. So for anybody interested, coming up next month. And it sounds like by then you guys will have done some fitting with Faith the dog, and there'll be a lot to talk about.
Yes.
The surgeon that you've been working with, the veterinary surgeon, are they able to join for that meeting? Do you know?
I don't know. We've been talking to him about that. A lot of it really depends on his schedule, because a lot of his business is emergency. You know, like 90% of his business is emergency. So it's one of those things where even if we plan for it, he could get called out very easily. But what we were talking to him about is maybe just doing an offline thing with him, like an offline interview when he does have time, and then record that, which would probably make everybody much more comfortable in that we wouldn't have to worry about him getting called out in the middle of him being on the call.
Right, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, that's his biggest concern is being called away. He's very much in demand. He's an amazing surgeon, just an amazing guy, and he's just very super easy to work with, which is 90% of the battle. And anything he's asked us for, we've tried to build.
Very cool. So what I can do is send you a link to that event just so you have it, and then I guess we can add him to the billing of the focus follow-up workshop. If you want to send me his name, I can add that in. If it's just a recording of you guys talking together, that'd be fine.
Okay.
During the event.
It's Richard Hurt, just so you have it. HURT is his
great
name. I'll contact him and see when he's feeling better.
And you said he also is fighting off being sick.
Their whole office got hit. So yeah, it's unfortunate. I guess they had a volunteer came in sick, and
so
we'll get it. He's super to talk to. He's very personable. I think it'll be very informative, because he goes through how it really works with the growth plates on the animals, and he gets right into the science of it. So
very cool. So in terms of other posts this week, there have been a couple other ones we can check on briefly. There's some introductions. Looks like there was a post 21 minutes ago that I haven't even read yet. But a lot of new members. And there was let's see, Alexander shared a pretty interesting video about prosthetic knees. And looks like there's some bionic elements to it, which is very cool. New member here, Will Smith, recent graduate, pursuing a career in occupation therapy. So welcome, Will. And it looks like there was a response to him from Curdy Bailey, who is interested in having a device. So maybe one of the things that that we can remind Curdy is that we have the e-NABLE Web Central platform. So there are ways of sharing all the information that's needed for the makers to create the device, and having potentially a couple people collaborating together on a case. So that way Will could be involved, but so could other people, and maybe some more experienced members could be helpful in the process. So I'll respond to Curdy today. But that looks like it's sort of the posts from the week that caught my attention. So we're gonna switch over now to events coming up. So June is wrapping up, but we do have one more event this month. The Focus Follow-up Workshop is today at 1 p.m. Kyle Reeser is going to join us for the first 15 minutes and share his experiences with the Lumio platform. I don't know if people are familiar with Lumio, but it's a voting platform that allows for kind of extended discussion if people have ideas for projects that they want to fund, or sort of some community practices that are worth reviewing. So Kyle, who's going to be presenting today, recently was approved for a trip to Tanzania to support a clinic that he's been involved with the last trip that he took. So maybe I can just run through some of this stuff quickly. Kyle shared a background of the project. He actually, from his previous trip, was able to collaborate with Creality and become their brand ambassador, and he's now returning with support from Creality to help set up this clinic, which is pretty incredible. And again, all through, in terms of funding, was through the Lumio platform. So he's marked out sort of the steps involved with his trip in several parts. He's defined a budget. He's put a timeline in there, a Q&A, and some deliverables. And this wasn't something that was included initially, but during the comments, John and Eric mentioned that would be a helpful part of the process. So Kyle added it in. So you can see that Lumio allows for sort of this this back and forth to happen for the first week or two, and then there's a voting process. So 19 people voted for this project to go forth. Nobody voted against it. I forget the exact number. I think it's 16 or 18 votes for that allows something to go through. So Kyle's going to join us and talk about this process. Again, he's done several projects. He's hosted several projects through Lumio. So here's one of his previous projects about a portable e-NABLE lab, which is when he originally went to Tanzania. Really detailed documentation.
Wow.
A really cool project.
That's nice.
Yeah. And it was through that initial project that Kyle went to, let's see if I can pull it up quickly. Kyle went to Tanzania, and we worked together on putting his documentation together in a blog post, which is on Enabling the Future. And you can see that there's 9 separate articles of the work that he did while he was there. And each of these articles has just a wealth of information and links about the work that they're doing there, and some of the things that he helped to pilot while he was there. So again, he's going back and helping to set up an independent clinic. which is very cool. And if anybody is interested, these 9 articles are all on the hub, and you can go to Enabling the Future to sort of get the summary of each one.
That's what I figured out.
All right. So maybe taking a peek at the notes.
There they are. I couldn't figure out how to get back in there.
Here we are. Okay, so action items. Rick, you were going to coordinate an introductory meeting with e-NABLE and 50 Legs.
We're still having difficulties with that. I've got some stuff that John sent me, and it was like a trifold. And I'm going to print those out and see if I can get someone to talk to me over there, but they just aren't responding. I apologize. I don't know what to do yet with those guys. I'll keep trying.
All right. So in terms of updates from me, I did speak with John and Jeremy about Flashforge, and we've reached out to talk to a contact there about a potential partnership that would allow for some devices to be sent to the Dominican Republic. I had worked on an article about the work that's going on there in collaboration with e-NABLE volunteers in Maine. And we'll see what happens next. It seems like it's a opportunity to leverage some kind of sponsorship to write these kind of articles and to see if there's a brand that might want to be able to contribute. And again, they're setting up a clinic in La Romana in the Dominican Republic, and it'd be great to have Graviel and his team down there have some direct benefits from sharing their story. So that is in process. And I don't know if there's any other specific points that we want to talk about today, Rick. It's just you and me, so it can be a quick meeting today.
No, I think I think you've covered it.
For next month, we're at the end of June. In July, I think it's July 8th, we're going to have a special town hall meeting discussing the different matching platforms. So before we had talked a little bit about e-NABLE Web Central, but there's also a really developed system that's used in Brazil, integrated into the healthcare system. There's a whole different system set up through WordPress that e-NABLE France uses. e-NABLE Turkey has been using sort of a more manual process. Hopefully we can get some of those folks to join us on July 8th, and along with Ed Grieg from Deloitte, and use the town hall to kind of have an overview of some of these different matching platforms and to help guide kind of a recommendation that Deloitte has been interested in participating in, that would allow us to move forward and maybe update what we currently have. So again, it'll be July 8th, just in the normal time that we have the town hall meeting. Let me open up the calendar. Great. And we'll also be rescheduling the e-NABLE education meeting from, I'm going to go back a month, from July 4th, which is just not going to be so convenient for people, to that Friday. And moving forward, Ian Roy is going to be helping us with managing those education meetings, which is awesome. So thanks, Ian. And we're looking forward to having him bring in some different presentations. On the 8th, it'll be John Dar and Catherine Best. let's see, John Dar Bradshaw from NASA and Catherine Best from the University of Illinois will be joining us for that meeting. So looking forward to talking about summer programs with them. Great. So maybe we'll wrap up today and stay tuned for a more traditional town hall meeting next week with Jeremy on the 1st.
What did I just do?
Oh, it says live captioning has been enabled. That's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on an iPad and I can't find the notes.
Not a problem. Cool. All right. Well, have a great day, Rick. And if you're available at 1 p.m., we'll be doing the meeting with Kyle. He's going to sort of give an introduction about the Lumio platform, and hopefully we can get some other folks that have been involved with Lumio to talk about how they've used that platform and basically best practices.
Yeah, I'd like to. Good.
Great. All right. So I'll see you at 1.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Ben.
All right. Bye, everybody.